Why Not? A queer podcast.
Thank you to our sponsor, Pineapple Healthcare, an award-winning primary care clinic right here in Orlando.
Pineapple Healthcare offers mental health counseling, HIV, STI testing and treatment, and specializes in care for the LGBTQ plus community.
Open Monday through Saturday. Call today at 407-553-6336 and schedule your appointment.
Pineapple Healthcare. Better together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Todd.
And I'm Jeremy Williams. You're listening to Wine,
Why Not? A queer podcast.
episode 171.
Well done.
Yay. I realized as we were getting started, I saw the countdown clock, and I was like, oh, I don't have the script pulled up. And then when you're trying to find an email, everything just blends together. I was like, shit, why do I have so many emails from Rick?
You know what it's like? It's like I imagine it's like if you're being chased and you need to get into your car or your house and you got to get your keys.
Oh, and you're fumbling with the keys?
Yeah, like in what's the one that gets dead in the title? John Cusack's in it. Better Off Dead.
Better Off Dead.
When the kid wants his $2 and he's chasing him down and he's like, I want my $2, and he's like fumbling and he goes, keys.
You know, that's one of those things where when I watch it in a movie, I'm like, yeah, that's stupid. Just you need to focus. But when you really have to pee and you're coming up and you're trying to lock the door and you do the same thing. You're just so frantic and you can't get it in the hole. And it's just a pain in the ass. Anyway, I feel their pain.
Yeah, can't get it in the hole. If you can't get it in the hole, it's probably not a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on the hole.
Off to a great start in this early morning recording.
Also, I'd like to point out, because we started a few minutes late, because this laptop I have not doing so good. It's I think it's on its last leg, and there was an update done in the last couple of days. I'll be honest, I only use this laptop for the podcast, so within the last couple of days there was an update. So I had to restart the computer, and it took forever to come up. And then nothing would work, so I had to restart it, blah, 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 this whole process. Needless to say, I only have one 171 fact, because I only had time as it was pulling up to look up the one that would not upset Caitlin. So that's the only fact I have.
Before you jump into 171,
yeah,
I'll just say, delete everything that you don't need off of it and clear out everything. And then it'll probably run better.
It is. I mean, I literally, because this was my old work computer. All I use it for is the podcast, and there's like literally nothing on it. It's just, it's old. It's an old model, much like me.
Oh,
and much like me, it runs very slow in the mornings.
Before you jump into 171,
New
York or Orlando shirt?
Hold on, let me make you big. You know what? I'll take it as a New York shirt.
Oh, I was surprised with the pattern.
I can see that works. That'll work in New York. Just leave the flamingos and the pineapples and everything in Florida.
I like to wear this to LGBT events.
You plan on going to a lot of those when you're out here?
It's got a lot of tea colors in it.
Yeah.
I will say I stopped wearing this to LGBTQ events in Orlando because when the One Orlando Alliance had an executive director, he had this shirt and he wore it somewhere, and I was like, I'm not wearing that shirt anymore because inevitably we'll both be wearing it, and that would be weird.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
How embarrassed? Wearing the same dress to the same party. All right, you may proceed.
So Pokemon 171. Yeah, this is all I got.
The
Lantern
Alpha and the Omega,
which is just the the evolved version of last week's Pokemon. That his name is Lantern, and the little tidbit that was given to me through the website about Lantern is portions of his dorsal fin mutated, becoming the parts that glow brightly to lure prey. It's basically just a Pokemon anglerfish, is what it looks like to me. Yeah, I have just been informed it is a 4-foot-long anglerfish, so that's scary, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's your 171.
Does the thing at the end light up or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it's called Lantern.
That was why I said glow.
Oh, okay. I was
You don't listen to me
I was
ever.
hinging on every word. You know what? It's not my fault. Caitlin's distracting me by showing me the picture, so I'm looking at
That
it.
is true.
while you're
She always throws
talking.
the picture up for a visual.
Yeah, just for us. Little treat for us. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. What are your
well,
171s?
You're gonna love. I know how much you love the things I come up with, so I know that you're just. I'm carrying the show on
Chomping
the
at the bit.
171. So great. Hey, you're a gamer, yeah? Do you like games? You play
I
games.
do like games. I got
Have
a
you ever played
PS5.
171?
No, but isn't that like the Brazilian version of GTA or something?
Yeah, it is. It's a Brazilian-inspired take on the open-world sandbox formula. Does that mean anything to you? The sandbox
Just an
formula?
open world format, yeah.
Prioritizing the simulation of daily life and criminal enterprise over a traditional linear story. It's
Yeah,
sort of
that
like
sounds
Grand
like
Theft Auto,
GTA.
right? GTA.
Yeah.
I'm so busy, I don't have time to say Grand Theft Auto. I used to like that game. So there's this thing called Food 171, E171. It's
Mhm.
titanium oxide, and it's used in foods to make them like to whiten foods, kind of a thing. An example: you ever like suck on Skittles to where all the color comes off, and then it's just a white coating?
Sure.
That's titanium oxide.
All right. All right.
Banned in the EU in 2022, and about 2024, Skittles said, well, I guess if it's banned in the EU, maybe we'll stop using it. So they stopped using it, but it's not banned in the US. You could still use it. It's used
We
in
have a
other
strong
things.
constitution here.
It's used in some other weird things that have nothing to do with food, which is like weird to me. Anyway, so this is the only two really 171 things that I have outside of the norms.
Yeah.
So let's go with Friends 171, 171st episode.
It's the start of the 8th season, I believe. It's the one where everybody finds out that Rachel's pregnant.
It is. It's the one after I do. The gang learns that Rachel is pregnant. Joey tries to impress a Broadway director who's dating Chandler's mom. Chandler's shoes make it hard for him to dance.
Yeah. This is one of those episodes that has a Joey line in it that was funny back then, but maybe a little controversial now. Maybe some groups might call it being bordering on the racism. But when he's trying to tell the director or the Broadway director that he would be good for the show, and he says, it's an all Chinese cast. Can you be Chinese? And he goes, well, I'm not proud of this. And then he goes to pull his eyelids and they cut away.
Oh my God.
And I
There's
was
also
like,
there's another scene in it that makes it not date really well, right? Isn't this the one where like somebody tells Rachel to go talk to Chandler's dad?
No. That's last year. That's or the last season during the rehearsal dinner
Oh, okay.
with the Amanda.
Yeah.
No, but this is the one where Ross is trying to impress the girl, so he's dancing with the kids, and the big girl wants to dance on his feet, and they make a lot of fat girl jokes at her expense.
Aww.
Yeah, this episode as a whole doesn't hold up well for the progressive mindset.
Do you know an interesting tidbit about that kids table is that Ross's son Ben is at that table, but they never acknowledge each other.
They do in a cut scene.
They cut it. And if you
they
watch
cut the
the
scene
DVD
where they do,
versions, they do communicate in there.
because he keeps making fart noises, but he says it's the chair, and he's like, "Good, you're embarrassing me."
Did you know there's another scene that's cut? So apparently there is a scene where Chandler is dancing with Monica's mom, and his shoes are slippery, and so he falls and he rips her dress off. And that scene got cut, but it's in the DVD version.
Yeah. That was when they first started releasing episodes of Friends on DVD, because they started with best of disc sets. And then when they released the full seasons, they put the uncut episodes. So the episodes are all between 30 and 40 minutes. And they were so popular when they first started being released that for a period of time, NBC had You remember Supersize Friends? And the episodes
Yes.
were 45 minutes long.
Do I remember Supersize Friends? One of the many times that I had to cancel my I think I've told you about this when I complain about something to a place, they don't care. Everybody else will
No.
be like, call Spectrum, tell them you're paying too much, they'll knock your price down. I'll call Spectrum and I'll say I'm paying too much, and they'll say, okay, well, when do you want us to shut your service off? So the last episode of Friends was a supersized episode. But back then, technology wasn't smart enough. So when you tell the DVR to record Friends, it records the time slot it thinks Friends are in. So we didn't see the end of the very last episode. And I was very mad. And I called them and was yelling at them. And they said, well, you seem to be very unhappy. When would you like us to come and turn your service off? I was like, never mind.
That's not why I called. This doesn't help you being 20 plus years later. But you can go in once you set the DVR and you can adjust it to go 10, 20, or 30 minutes past the record time, the set time frames.
Yeah, I know. What, did you work customer service or Spectrum? I understand that I could have done that, but I told it to record Friends. Why doesn't it record the whole thing?
Listen, you sound upset. When do you want me to cancel this podcast?
Did you know that this little tidbit of information here, this was the first episode following 9/11, and so it's dedicated to the people
yes,
because
they delayed the a lot of TV shows that year delayed the season because the first couple of weeks of September is when all the new shows used to start on network TV, and they delayed them like a month. And it's weird. What was I watching? I think it was an episode of SVU that originally aired in October. No. That's what it was, a clip from the Rosie O'Donnell show. And it was, I saw the clip on TikTok and it said original air date October 14th or October 24th, something like that, 2001. And they all seemed to, everybody handles grief in their own way, but they all seemed a little happy and chipper for less than 6 weeks from 9/11. But they're like, today's guest is blah, blah, blah. And they're like, here's Rosie. And they're all cheering. And I was like, don't you know what happened a month ago? Calm down. You're a little too excited. Anyway, that was a rough time for us all.
No shit. It was.
Yeah.
It sucked. I was there. It was awful. So the girl who Joey is instructing on tennis moves, remember her? Like he dresses in tennis and he's trying to hit on somebody. It's the same girl who sees Rachel take the keys from Monica's Porsche from Ross's jacket in the one with Chandler's dad.
Oh,
just in case you were curious.
Doesn't she also take $20?
Yes, and she says along with money.
Yeah, she takes $20. I never noticed that was the same girl, but yeah, she looks and she says child support, and the girl goes, "Yeah, okay," and kind of go ahead and take it.
This is an interesting thing, I thought, because I wasn't aware of this fact. Phoebe lies and tells everyone that she's pregnant with James Brolin's child, only to be told that he's married to Barbra Streisand. Elliot Gould, who plays Monica and Ross's father, Jack, was married to Barbra Streisand.
To Barbra Streisand.
Before she subsequently married Brolin. I did not know that.
Yeah. Also, just weird connections. The mom, Christina Pickles. Do you know that her and Courtney Cox worked on a movie before they even did Friends? They were in the Masters of the Universe, the He-Man movie from the 80s.
Really? Courtney Cox is in that?
Yeah, she's one of the Earth teenagers when He-Man comes to Earth, and the mom plays the sorceress.
I want her credit to be that Earth teenager.
I don't remember her name, but they come to He-Man and everybody comes to Earth, and her and her boyfriend. You should watch it. It was a terrible movie, but I loved it as a kid.
Dolph
Lundgren. Yeah.
How did I just say that? Dolph. Here's a fun fact. I thought this was cute. When Monica and Chandler get engaged, Monica finds Rachel and Ross kissing in the hallway and accuses Rachel of stealing her thunder. So she says to get back at Rachel, when Rachel gets engaged, Monica's going to announce that she's pregnant. So she would steal Rachel's thunder. Ironically, it's Rachel that announces
Yeah.
on Monica's wedding night that she is pregnant.
She just can't leave her thunder alone, can she?
Right? Oh, that's interesting. You just said, you just said the name Christina Pickles. That's here. The last fact I have is,
Yes.
oh no, there's way more. The piano player at the wedding reception is the same piano player from an earlier episode, the one with Chandler's dad. Didn't know that. Yeah, the other one's not interesting. So I'm going to leave it at that. So that's the Friends take. Don't know if you're going to get these. I don't know if you'll remember last time I mistakenly thought that the 170th greatest movie of all time was actually the 171st greatest movie of all time.
Right.
It's a Roman Polanski movie from 1976. Any guesses?
Roman Polanski, 1976. That wasn't Rosemary's Baby was earlier than that, wasn't it?
It's not The Landlord.
The Apartment? He didn't direct
Tenant.
that. Oh, The Tenant.
All right, so here we go. The 171st greatest director of all time.
Yes.
Now, I do recognize some of these. Oh, you know what? Here's the weird thing, is that this list is the 1,000 greatest directors of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine for 30 years we're going to be doing this. But 171, I looked this guy up. He's a writer. He didn't direct any of the things I'm about to list. He's a writer on them. So do you know
Did he direct? And I mean, he's on the list, so he must have directed something.
I went through and looked, and everything on IMDb was, writer. So the Merowitz stories. I think that's it's got famous people in it. De Niro's in it. Doesn't ring a bell.
No.
Marriage Story.
Marriage Story is with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Noah Baumbach.
Yes.
He directed that.
And it's his credit on IMDb as writer. And Barbie. He didn't direct Barbie.
No, he wrote Barbie. His wife, Greta Gerwig, directed Barbie.
Well, there's the connection. Look at that.
You know what? And because I've done this before, I'm not saying this is what you did, but I have done this before. At the top, there's a little drop-down bar, and you can select a particular study, like director, actor, writer. Are you sure you just didn't have writer selected instead of all?
I'm gonna look right now because I didn't know that thing existed, so I wouldn't have selected anything. I'm looking. Known for credits. It says it just says writer. I would never have chosen that, but let's see. Now I clicked all. Written by, adaptation, screenplay, story, written. Yeah, still says Marriage Story, still says written by.
Are you? I got
direct. I just choose director.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Marriage
director.
Story.
Okay.
De
He did direct all of those things I listed. So how about that?
Francis Ha, which is a movie. The Squid and the Whale. That was a good movie.
I'm just as truthful as ChatGPT.
But yes, Noah Baumbach is married to Greta Gerwig, and they wrote the Barbie script together.
Well, good for them. He kind of looks like who's that Wilson brother? Not
Owen? Luke.
Luke
John.
Wilson. He kind of looks like
Mark.
a Temu Luke Wilson.
Jesus. I'm just listing disciples now.
Anyway, that's my 171. How was your week?
Nice.
Do anything fun?
Yeah, the week was interesting. Okay, first I do want to point out, because you can see I'm a little sweaty. We are in the 90s this week. So the AC units are out. There is an AC unit to my right in the kitchen. There is an AC unit to my left in the living room. However, they are pointed away from me, so the entryway is hot as balls. And I probably should have just turned the AC unit around and had it blowing on me, but I didn't know if it would interfere with the microphone because it would be blowing right there. So I'm just going to suffer through. I'm not drinking wine because we're recording early in the morning. because I have to work today. So I'm just doing coffee. So hopefully the sweat should be not bad. But yeah, it's gonna be in the 90s this week, and I don't like that. I left Florida to get away from this kind of heat and humidity.
I was going to say something very weird last night. So this is real quick, just weird, because you're talking about temperature. Whenever it's like uncomfortable or like warm in Orlando, we'll look at what the temperature is in New York. So I've got like, excuse me, I got several cities listed on my weather app as to what the temperature is in different places, like places that I lived or will be, and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to find it here because it's fascinating to me. Hold, please. Be right with you. I'm going to show it to people so they can see. But so last night when it was hot in Orlando, this is like 11 o'clock last night, I looked up what the temperature was on my phone in other places. I don't even can see that, but everywhere is 77 degrees. So in New York, in St. Pete, in Orlando, it was all 77 degrees. Isn't that weird? So
That's
I went to
very
send it to Jen and Dylan, and I accidentally sent it to Ryan at 11 o'clock at night, and he reacted to it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I know he's an old lady, so he goes to bed early." So I was like,
What
reaction?
reaction?
I'm so sorry.
What reaction did he give?
He
you?
did like the wow face. I was like, "Sorry, that wasn't meant for you," and he goes, "No, it's fascinating." And so I called him this morning. And he goes, "Yeah, I just figured you were super impressed by that, so you wanted to let me know."
All right.
Anyway, so it made me look ahead.
If
it makes you feel better, at some point on May 23rd, it's going to be in the 50s.
Yeah. It on Wednesday there's a cold front moving in. We're gonna have rain, and then it's supposed to go back down into the 60s, and then next week is gonna start getting cooler before we get all charged up for the summer. Can you believe that in a few weeks I will be living in New York for 1 year?
It's crazy. What are you going to do to mark the occasion?
I am going to move into my new apartment. So I've gotten an apartment. Well, we're working on getting it all secured, but I don't know if you're aware of this, but a certain affliction that I have under New York City law is considered a disability, which means that the VA is going to pay my rent for me for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Because I am a disabled veteran. So I have to start looking for an apartment. And it's interesting because they gave me a cap. They're like, don't go over that cap. And the cap will get me a gorgeous, beautiful apartment in Brooklyn, Queens, or the Bronx. And they'll get me a closet in Manhattan. So can you guess where I'm going to live? Not Manhattan.
I would totally pick Manhattan.
No. Some of these things, the ones that are within the budget are they're holes in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple that I'm going to look at on Wednesday in Queens, in Jackson Heights, which I am told is the neighborhood for Queens, that are not only large one bedrooms, but I get a dishwasher, I get a washer and dryer.
Nice.
And it's just it's an actual apartment. It looks like a real apartment. I'm so excited. So was working on getting that all situated. They had the AIDS Walk, New York City AIDS Walk this past weekend. So I didn't make it to the walk because the same day Uggs decided they wanted to do their staff meeting for the season. So went and did the staff meeting. And it was nice. They had bagels and juice and stuff, so it was fine. But then I ran over to do the festival, and I don't know if you watch South Park, but there was an episode of South Park that came out a few years ago where Cartman gets AIDS. Well, he gets HIV.
Yes.
And
are you sure?
Oh, I'm HIV positive. He got it. So the funny thing about the episode is him talking about how HIV is so passe. Like that's not the disease that all the celebrities have fundraisers for anymore. And that was never more evident than this AIDS walk. Like New York City, you would think that would have like this massive coming out for the AIDS walk, and it was very small. There was a decent amount of people who showed up to walk, but I was surprised how few LGBT organizations came out. There was maybe, I don't know, 8 or 10 tents set up for the little festival. They did it at the band show over near Bethesda, the Bethesda Fountain. And there was about 10 tents set up, and only like half of them were maybe LGBT organizations. The other one was like CVS was there. Chobani was giving out these really good protein shakes. They would give free protein shakes, and it worked because I ordered some on Amazon and have them delivered. They were fucking delicious. They're wild berry protein shakes, and they're amazing. But there wasn't a whole lot out there, and I was excited because I hadn't been to an LGBT festival, kind of like what we used to have. Watermark has booths at. So my bag of free swag and stuff, I was excited to see what kind of swag they give out in New York. So I got a couple of Clack fans. I got some really nice water bottles. And then my favorite thing, I hope this is not offensive to anybody, but this little purple thing is from Planned Parenthood. And someone at the booth asked if this was an aborted fetus, if that's what this was supposed to be. And I laughed. I didn't mean to laugh, but I laughed so hard at that. I was like, can I have one, please?
Can I have an aborted fetus? Is that what you asked for?
It's a little squishy aborted fetus. I don't think that's what Planned Parenthood intends it to be, but it's cute, isn't it?
Look, I just have to ask the question. What idiot thinks, first of all, that would be what an aborted fetus looks like? I mean, just look at the protester signs. They're totally different. And then who would think that someone would make a product called an aborted fetus stress ball and pass it out at a swag at event?
First off, if that was the intent, that's hilarious because that would be funny. Secondly, I think he was meant to. I don't think he seriously thought that it was an aborted fetus. It wasn't like an old lady with a sign like, "Why do you have aborted fetuses?" It's just it's a Planned Parenthood tiny little thing with a face, arms, and legs. It's not even fully developed. It's only got 4 fingers.
I live in, so it's AI generated. That's all that means. I live in Florida, and I'm not used to people going up and cracking jokes. I'm just used to Florida man thinking like when they say something, they're being serious.
Oh no, we're just funny here, not offensive.
All right.
Now I will say that for the people who did show out, because again, it was a hot weekend. Bless you, those who walked without a shirt on, because it was hot out there. And I got some video. I felt like I was working at Watermark again. I was like, ooh, let me take some video of this, the AIDS walk. Oh, let me get some photos over here. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous men supporting the cause to end HIV. And I appreciate that. I appreciate them being out there.
Well, I mean, I hope they raised a lot of money, and I'm glad that they're doing it. I hope that they didn't find the cure at the walk because, that might affect you. That might affect your living situation. I want to make sure you're taken care of.
I know, right? Like, hey, thanks for walking. Let's dial it back. Let's slow walk this for a bit.
I will say that at AIDS walks, they're not really vendor heavy. You know what I mean? It's really just people going for the walks, like here now. But I think that maybe it's different with like the areas, because when we're here where we are here in Florida, it's sort of a hotbed for like the percentage of new cases is sort of a hotbed in South Florida and mid Florida. So maybe it's not it's not up there. Maybe I actually just was at an event this weekend and learned about the ratio of people on PrEP to the number of new cases, and the ratio is there's a lot more people in the north that are on PrEP than in the South.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with who's elected.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the healthcare benefits and access and
yeah. But based on photos I've seen, you can tell this was smaller than ones in the past. One thing I found very interesting, they had a media tent there, and I saw a couple of people, like reporters out there and some cameramen for the local news. Only one media company had a tent out there. And surprisingly, CBS News. It was CBS News had a tent out there, and they were talking with people and giving out pencils and
Were they the ones
had
asking if it was aborted fetuses?
no. But I mean, I was surprised. I didn't see any independent media. I didn't see any LGBT focused media. I don't know if, like Cartman said, if AIDS is just too passe for them. But yeah, I was surprised by who I saw there, but also surprised by who I didn't see there. So I don't know. Maybe it was just too hot for a lot of them
Yeah.
to come out.
Do you know that it's, from what my understanding is, that it's unusual for LGBT media, it's like small companies like this one, to be as involved at events as we are. Other like Dallas Voice, I believe they'll be there, but it's their distribution team that they hire
Yeah.
to pass out papers and stuff like that. And I feel that's the same with Gay City News.
Yeah.
Just like, well, that goes back from the 90s when I was there. It was really just like it was like 8 long tables stacked of papers, and people just walked up and picked them up. But that
Yeah.
sort of outreach sort
I
of
didn't
thing,
even
it's
see
really
any
unique to
papers or
Watermark.
anything. Yeah. I just thought that was very odd. But yeah, maybe an opportunity is there for CBS to start an LGBT paper.
You should have gave him your card, tell him like, hey,
Well, I
Let me
chatted
help
with them a
you.
little bit.
like if
Said
they,
they
I'll
were-
tell you what, you tell them if they hire you, they'll gain at least one more Paramount Plus subscriber.
Nice. But no, they had the little forms out there, for like story idea, like we do, if you have a story idea. So I jotted a few down.
Here's one.
One of them
Freedom
was
of the press.
Well, I wrote down what exactly does Barry Weiss do at CBS?
Other than squash dreams and freedoms.
Yeah, because I haven't seen her do shit, and their studio is literally 2 blocks over from me. Do you know what they do have in the CBS News building? The Drew Barrymore Show, and Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. That's where they record, right over at the CBS building.
Nice.
Nice to see where you stand, John and Drew. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's a whole contract thing, and you have to stay there. Just like Oprah's girlfriend. What's her name? Gail Weathers. No. Gail Weathers is Scream. What's her name? Gail.
Just Gail, isn't it?
Gail. Just Gail. No, she's good. Anyway, forget where I was going with that. I mean, that's pretty much it. Just doing a lot of work.
King.
Gail King. So yeah, just getting ready for the hot weather. We got some interesting things coming up at Uggs that we learned in the staff meeting, so more to come on that. They got some pretty cool things being launched.
That's exciting.
So yeah. So how was your week?
Speaking of Uggs, did you watch SNL?
The Will Ferrell one? Yes.
Yeah. Surprisingly not funny. But there was a comment he made about things people were wearing, and he said the boots with the fur. And I thought,
Yes.
He talked about Jeremy's job. My week was pretty busy. It's been crazy busy. I will mention we went to Disney for Dylan's last day of because he had that pass that he bought to go to Air Supply with me, and then it ended up. I just laugh because every time I say Air Supply, I have to laugh because I'm already planning a trip for the next concert. But so we went there, and he'd never been on Peter Pan, so we rode Peter Pan, and it's insane. And we had to look it up. It takes forever in line, but we looked it up, and one of the reasons, well, first of all, it's a popular ride because it's actually a good ride. For being like one of the originals and like not really updated, it's really a good ride to go on.
Yeah.
So that's one reason, and the other is that where most of the rides will put through about 2,500 guests per hour, this one only puts out about 1,500. So it's like a slow ride, which is why. Plus, they have to stop it a lot because it's one of those where like the cars continuously move and you have to walk along a sidewalk and get in. So if there's any sort of what's the word, mobile impaired person, then it's gonna stop so that they can easily get on. And then when they go through the ride and get off, it's got to stop sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But it was still cool.
Have-
I really like it. I think it's really ingenious. Like you turn that corner and then all of a sudden all of London is below you. I
Yeah.
think that's really cool.
Have you heard the urban stories about that ride in Gay Days?
No.
Oh, because it's slow and the boats have very high backs on them, that it's a very popular ride during Gay Days.
Oh, the People Mover, I noticed there's a good like 30, 45 seconds of complete darkness.
Yeah.
That's another one. I don't know what could happen on those rides, but it is.
No.
Listen, people.
I just
Disney
know that
is
the
where
gays,
you take your children, not where you make your children.
After this is over, we're going to talk about how we make children.
Look,
Because I don't
gays,
think
I
that's
know
what they're
you try
doing.
and you try and you try. Have you ever dated anybody who was like wanted to have sex, and the way of asking you if you wanted to have sex was like, "You want to try and make a baby?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we did that. We rode the People Mover 37 times. I'm just kidding. Just once. But we went to have lunch or dinner. Well, it was early. It was like 5 something. We had dinner at Be Our Guest because Dylan had never eaten there. And I was like, hey, do
Yeah.
you want to eat somewhere fun? Blah, blah, blah.
Did you try the gray stuff?
I did.
Was
And
it
guess
delicious?
what? The dishes are lion fuckers.
Not delicious?
I don't think so. Other people love it. You know what? It is not. If I had to put like my top 5 favorites of something, top 5 flavors of something, cookies and cream doesn't rate up there. So basically what it is a cookies and cream mousse.
Oh,
And so
right.
I think that's what makes it gray, is it all mushed together. It's really not that great. And then they do this like coating. It's like a chocolate coating, but it tastes like that what are those melts, like those waxy chocolate melts things that you buy at like Walmart to make chocolate. Anyway, it's just not something I really cared about. And the waiter who said he was a dish in a former life. Let's talk about the continuity of
I'm
the
sorry,
theme
what?
here. I'm all over the place with this, but let's talk about the continuity of this. So the Beast comes out while you're at dinner. And I'm like, and I should point out, we had dinner with Ryan and his friend that he met this girl at a Avengers or Marvel movie, and they just struck up a conversation, and now they're besties. Like when we went to Dallas and he ditched us in Dallas to go have dinner with a friend, it was this girl. But she's moved to Orlando now, and so they go to Disney together and stuff like that. So anyway, she's there and he's there, and I asked them, I was like, what's going on here? Like the Beast, I thought the curse was broken. It's the Beast. And they were like, oh, we've traveled back in time. And I'm like, okay, fine. So then the waiter says, try the gray stuff. It's delicious. And you can trust me because I used to be one of the dishes. And Ryan was like, hold up. If the curse is broken for you, why is it broken for the Beast? And I'm thinking maybe the Beast didn't change, and maybe another witch showed up and he was a dick. And they said, you know what? We're just going to make you a beast again. And that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know that waiter in his head was like, dude, you're in your 30s. Shut the fuck up. Eat your gray stuff.
So, you know what else I learned? It's like, I'm not good at making friends. This is going to be an interesting thing. Like, Dylan's going to get a job and he's going to hang out with his coworkers and they're going to meet me. And then they're all going to be like, what's up with your husband? He's kind of fucking weird. Like, I haven't asked Ryan what his friend thought of me, but I'm just a weird person. I don't make friends well. I make very inappropriate jokes. For instance, I was dressed head to toe in Orange Bird stuff. And so we meet up and she's like, oh my God, I love all your Orange Bird stuff. And I went, who's that? And it cracked me up. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Jesus.
a picture of me in all Orange Bird attire standing next to an Orange Bird thing. I mean, even my bag was Orange Bird. Anyway, Disney was fun. It was a good time, except my pork chop was overcooked. He told me they cook it medium. It's a lying dish. And so, yeah, I was like that lady at SNL trying to cut my thing and the whole table's shaking. Anyway, it was a fun experience. We had a good time.
Nice.
We did that weird thing, though, because we thought Ryan and his friend were going to go hang out somewhere. So when we got out of the restaurant, we were like, okay, well, bye. We're going to walk through the stores and leave. And then they kind of walked with us, and then we get to the stores. Like, okay, bye. We're gonna go to the stores, and then she was like, "You don't want to look at the merch?" And Ryan's like, "No, let's look at it." So like every other like display, we're like, "Bye, bye," all the way out. Good times.
You could have just told him, "We're done hanging out with you. Go away."
We appreciate the uncomfortableness of the 1,000 goodbyes. I don't know where I left this story last time about where we are with this permitting thing. I think I may have said that the city messed up something. No, it was the 11th, right? Yeah, it was the 11th, and it was the deadline, and they had denied permits, right? So I took screenshots and I sent them to the guy, the contractor, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" I was like, so he's like, "Yeah, no, this is." So he called them the next day. So on Tuesday, he talked to them, and they had, or to one of them, and he was like, "Yeah, my bad. I didn't look at the plans, so my bad. Just resubmit it, and I'll take care of it." And so the other person hadn't called. So he called that person's supervisor, and the supervisor's like, "Oh, I'm going to push this through tomorrow afternoon. It'll show up approved. Sorry, blah, blah, blah." But no, what it did the next day is it showed up back in the system for them to go and approve it. So the system is so antiquated that they can't just make a change. They can't just go in and say approved. They have to like wait until it shows on their screen. And guess when that's going to be? The 20th. So it gets into the system. It takes a whole week and a half before it even shows up for them to do anything. I was like, this is BS. Like, we thought we're supposed to have this like going away party for Dylan on Memorial Day, thinking like, oh, it'll be like, hey, look at the new rooms in the house and all this kind of stuff. No, we're like, we can't even have people over. There's no room. Anyway, obnoxious. Which leads me into this idea that we need to paint the house. But like now we're like, what's the point? If we paint the house, they're just gonna rip up half of it, and then we have to repaint it, right? So we thought, let's get quotes. Any idea? Any idea what
to paint a house?
Yeah, to paint a house. To paint Jen's house.
$6,000.
Really? What did you say, Caitlin? 10,000? Wow. So when we got Jen's house painted, when we moved in, it was like 2,300, right? So we're like, and that was like a professional painter. But she's got this guy that comes around.
20 years ago, though?
It was
inflation,
like
my man.
It was like 13, maybe something like that. So, yeah, I get it. So she's got this guy that does work around the house, and he's super, super inexpensive. Like, he does great work, and like he redid the whole back siding and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, we get a quote from him, and I was thinking he's probably going to be the best bet. We've put out feelers to like 6 different companies. Like, he's probably going to be the best bet. They came back with $4,500. Okay. I was like, all right, so we'll paint it ourselves. Like, never mind. Because we started to paint it, and it was just such a pain in the butt that I was like, yeah, let's go halvesies and getting this painted. And yeah, now we're like, nope. Tuesday night, I went to see The Notebook. Are you a fan of the movie?
It's all right. I think it's a little overrated, if you ask me.
I love the movie. Yeah. I overrate the movie. I'm the guy that does it for you. I love the movie. But what I love most about the movie is that you're watching this story and you don't know that the people telling the story and the people they're telling it to, that the story is about them. It's something you don't find out until later in the movie. And it's great. And when you realize it, it's this warm, fuzzy, great feeling. In the opening number, they're like, here are all the people that played Noah. Here are all the people that play the lady. And it's just like, oh, so and then he even says in the beginning, he's like, he tells the orderly, yeah, this is our love story. So when she starts dating this other guy, there's no mystery. You know what's happening. I mean, I knew because I seen it, but Dylan didn't know. And I was right before it started, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. It's got like this kind of twist to it that makes it really interesting and blah, blah, blah. No, not at all. And I was like, you know what? Stupid show. Don't like it. Yeah. Just because of that.
What they should have done was change up the musical and make her end up with the James Marsden character. And then you'd be like, oh, my God, that's not him as an old man.
Or at the end of it, she's like, just kidding. I remember all of it. I'm just trying to get away from you. That would be a good one, too. But so then they do weird things. You know how they do weird casting
Yeah.
sometimes in show, like people play multiple roles. So the guy that plays the girl's father in the beginning part of it ends up playing her son in the end of it.
Okay. Okay.
But he's way older than the guy that plays older Noah. So he's like, it's basically like okay, you've seen The Shining. So
Uh-huh.
the groundskeeper, imagine if the groundskeeper played Jack Nicholson's son.
Ah, yeah, that's weird.
It was just like that. I was like, when he hugged him and called him dad, I was like, come on. Anyway, there was one really great song in it where like so there's 3 versions of the lead, which Rachel McAdams' character. There were 3 of them, and the younger one and the middle one sang a song to the older one about how they were still inside and and wanted to come out and just remember us, we're right here. And that was a little tearjerker. That was really good.
Yeah. Speaking, since you're talking about The Notebook and Broadway shows, did you see they named the Tony nominations for this year?
Yeah, they did that a couple back, because I mean it's in like a couple, like 3 weeks.
It's in June. Yeah.
Yeah, June 7th. Yeah, I did see it. I did also look at the list because they did the Drama Desk Awards this week, like yesterday.
Were you surprised how little Chess got?
You know what? Yes, I was. So let's talk about the Tony nominations and Chess for just a second. I just want to say that when I saw Chess was the most powerful show I've seen, and it's just vocally intense and incredible. And it has mostly to do with Nicholas Christopher. And so if you've never seen Nicholas Christopher perform live, you just go see Chess. I mean, you can get TKTS tickets. It's pretty easy to go see now because it just got it for whatever reason. It was not something that the Tonys thought was great. He got nominated.
He did,
and he is incredible. He is so incredible. But just power ballad after power ballad, and it just hammers it home. It's just so intense and incredible. So here's what I find surprising about it. There are categories where, like, let's just imagine that, like with the Wonder Awards, we're going to put up the top 5. Right? So that they got the top 5. So you get to the category of greatest revival, right? And here are the revivals. It's the Rocky Horror Show, Cats the Jellicle Ball, which is basically a runway drag show set to Cats music.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one more.
Ragtime.
Ragtime, right? So those 3. And then they're like, are there 2 other revivals that we should nominate? And then somebody's like, what about Chess? No. Let's stick with 3. So they've nominate more categories, but Chess doesn't get a nomination.
Yeah. Well, the reason is because there were only 5 revivals that were in the running. And with Tony rules, they do the same thing with the Oscars. You have to have so many nominees to get 5 nominees. If you have under that number, you can only do 3.
Well, that makes sense then. Although I can't imagine that the Rocky Horror Show is better than Chess. I mean,
if you
great.
ask the Tonys, Cats, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Schmigadoon, and Titanic are like the shows to see this season.
And I think what that tells you is that this wasn't a stellar season. For Broadway. Now, last season was stunning and incredible. I think the highlight of the Tonys this season are the plays. Although I'll say Titanic was fantastic. I did not know what Schmigadoon was about, so I didn't go see it. But now that I know what it's about, I'm going to go because I find that fascinating. I will not see Rocky Horror Show. I don't care who's in it. I don't care. It's just, I like 2 songs, but I'm not. The whole phenomenon is lost on me. I'm not their demographic. So, but yeah, I was surprised about Chess not getting the love, but I also was surprised to read the Drama Desk Awards and see that Nathan Lane did not win for Death of a Salesman.
Yeah. I mean, he's not favored to win the Tony either.
It's John Lithgow.
I know that I am the man who kills the dreams of winners just by mentioning that, they're favored to win.
Say it
so
the way he'll win.
I will say that John Lithgow is favored to win Best Actor in a Play.
Yeah.
So if you don't win, my apologies to you. But I thought Laura.
Laurie Metcalf, she should win.
I was going to say Laura Dern. Laurie Metcalf is favored to win Supporting Actress for Death of a Salesman. But yeah, I was surprised. The only thing, and I have no problem with her, but the internet cannot stand Leah Michele. And the sheer joy of the internet that she didn't get the Tony nomination, and they're all like, she only came back to do chess so she can get a Tony nomination, and she didn't win. That means that still only 3 Glee members have won Tonys, and none of them are her. And I was like, this girl lives rent-free in your head. Let
Right.
it go.
Also, she
can't read these anyway.
She's also going to do other shows. Like she's vying for Fontaine now in Les Mis.
Oh, is she?
I think so. Which would be another full circle moment for her because her first show was as Cosette in Les Mis. Look, I mean, again, I've never had dinner with her, so she could be a terrible human being. I have no idea. I like her voice. I like watching her sing. She does a great job. I watched on YouTube recently Miscast 2026. Have you seen this?
I have not.
Well, Leah Michelle's in it. She sings Man of La Mancha, which is great because she sings it in front of John Cameron Mitchell because he's also in it, who is stunning and stellar. Nicholas Christopher also sings a number in it, and he's great. He's incredible. Darren Criss is in it, and he's annoying, as you might expect. Everything about him in the show is annoying. But yeah, it's great. I'm so surprised about. I started looking up tickets because Rent's got the 30-year anniversary of Rent's coming up, and they're doing a special show, and it's a fundraiser for Broadway Cares. Yeah. Is that the Equity Fight Aids? Is that what it's called?
It's Broadway Cares / Equity something. Yeah. But we all know what you mean when you say Broadway Cares.
And so I was just curious, and I saw Miscast, so I was like, oh, let me see what ticket prices for these kind of things are, and they're outrageous. Then I looked up prices to go see the Tonys, so I could buy a ticket to go to the Tonys. What would you guess would be, because it's like there's orchestra and then there's 3 mezzanines. So let's say third mezzanine top.
Well, I'm guessing you can't buy orchestra because that's all the nominees, right?
No, you can.
Oh,
There are seats available.
Anything's for sale in this city, I guess. I would say, I don't know, $100, $200.
This seat, tier 3 mezzanine, all the way against the wall on the side is $770.
Yeah,
Then it goes to $900 and something, and then it goes to $1,000 something and $2,777 to sit in the orchestra. Can you imagine paying that?
No.
Wow.
I mean, if you're nominated, you get a ticket. So I guess if you're like, oh, but I want to bring my mom and my dad and my spouse, then they're like, all right, well, you got to pony up for the 2 extras. See, I guess that's a way for them to make money for the rich folks in the pit.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy tickets to the 30th anniversary of Rent. I'm obsessed. I've always been obsessed with Rent, so I'm gonna buy that. And it's like the original. It's gonna sing, and it's great. So I don't know what that's gonna cost. I just know that that people who donate $1,000 to Broadway Cares are gonna get first dibs. So I can't imagine it's gonna be. I mean, I imagine it's gonna be over $250 a ticket. But I want to see that show. But yeah, they're really expensive like that to go to. They're like $250 and more, $300 to go to shows like Broadway Bears. Oh, I looked up Broadway Bears. Yeah. So if you want to get a table, that's like $50,000.
Yeah.
But you can get like individual tickets. I think the cheapest is $250 for standing room to Broadway Bears. Anyway.
But you get to see all of them naked.
I'm going to do the best to run through the rest of this because it was a busy week. I got a lot of things because Fringe, and I want to talk about those shows. So I'm going to run through it real fast. But Dr. Pinero's office celebrated their 20th anniversary this week, and I went to their celebration. They hired Dylan to do photos for the event, so I was there for 4 hours because he was there for 4 hours.
Oh,
but it was really great. It was really nice. I caught up with, you remember Don, former sales
Yeah.
guy there. Yeah, I hung out with him and Liza most of the time. It was nice to catch up with them and learn about their lives and all of that. And it was just really cool to be a part of because, um, I got to see. He's been my doctor since they've been open, and so all the people, the staff who've come and gone. It was nice to just catch up with all of them and see them, and that was really cool. So, congrats to Dr. Pinero, who is a wonderful supporter of Watermark Out News. So congratulations to him. So then I saw a couple Fringe shows. A friend of mine, first time writer and actor in a Fringe play. He did a play called Double Play, which his name is Randy Borick, and he was like the whole thing is like he was this corporate insurance analyst kind of guy, and then he and his partner adopted twins and decided that he would stay at home and raise the kids, and the husband would go out and work. But unfortunately, the husband's job was a lot of travel, and so it was really just him home with the kids. And how when he turned 50, he felt like he didn't have a life, even though he loved his children. So he joined softball, which is why it's called Double Play. And it's about how that affected the dynamics of the family when he was like, because he had something of his own to do. And now everybody's like, wait a minute, why are you doing something on your own? Why don't you love me? Fascinating show. I will say it was really interesting, and I related a lot to it. There's some great lessons that I took out of that. But what was most fascinating about the show is that his kids and his husband were sitting in the front row. So my favorite scenes about it were scenes where like the kids would bicker and fight. And because the one girl was like an SNL character where I think she had braces. I couldn't really tell, but she almost laughed her way through everything. Kind of like what it reminded me most of was Jimmy Fallon as the girl who's like, "Ew," and she's like, "Why are you wearing a sweatshirt?" And that was cracking me up. But they would laugh to each other when they would see them fighting on the stage, which was killing me. So it was pretty cool. But then it was a weird moment where there was a fight between the husband and him, and his husband's in the audience. And I'm like, somebody said afterwards, they were like, "Wow, the husband seemed like a jerk." And I was like, I guess maybe I'm the guy who defends the asshole husbands and asshole boyfriends from Devil Wears Prada. But I was like, the one husband wrote the show. It's from his point of view. Like, give the other guy some credit. So anyway, that was pretty good. Then I saw a show called Generic Male, which is a movement show, which I didn't expect to like, but I really did.
A movement show?
Yeah, it's just sort of like, you know how like James and Jamesy did that thing, and it was like there was no talking for the longest time, and there was just these movements. It's some
Yeah.
some people might say dance, but it wasn't so much dance as it was just like I don't know, timed movements. It was fascinating. It's something that I think that people should see.
Cool.
I really
Was
thoroughly
James
enjoyed
and
it.
Jamesy there?
No, they haven't been there for
Ah,
a while.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's hard to like. It explores like masculinity in different ways and like what's supposed to be masculine and what's not. And it sort of ends in this like thing where these two guys are sitting on stage and they're like, kids in school, and they're playing this thing from the 80s where they're like, men behave this way, don't show emotion or you'll look queer, and nobody wants to be queer. And so it's like this whole thing about that. And then really they just want like this guy is like at one point there's this like, hey, when the show ends, characters die, right? Because there's nothing beyond the show for the character. This character was upset that he was going to die, and he just wanted to be held. And that was right after being told you can't be queer. And so it was like this really interesting. The way I got to tell you, the way they moved when they were hugging was just graceful and beautiful. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Something good to see.
Totally. Since leaving there, forgot what Fringe shows were like.
Now I'm going to tell you, I will say this about everything that I saw. Like there were shows that we had to see where when we left, I was like not writing a review of this show because I'm not a dream killer, right? I'll go on this and I'll be like, God, this show was awful. But I'm not going to like kill dreams in print that people are going to read and pass around. So I was not bored at any I did not think when I left, I wrote a review for every show that I did. I will say the first show that I saw wasn't great, but everything else, and that I talked about last week, but everything
Name names.
Everything else has been really good. It's actually been really, really good. I saw Todd Kimbrough's show, which was basically like the world sucks, so we're gonna sing songs that bring you joy. And he took like suggestions from the audience because I don't know if you know this, but his job has been dueling pianos, so he's used to people just shouting out songs and him playing them. So somebody shouted out, what were the songs? "Let the River Run" by Carly Simon,
Ooh, that's a good song.
and "Toxic." So he did a mashup of those two songs, which don't really go together, but was really cool. So that was a really good show. I've always been a fan of him. He's got a really great voice. Then it was Escape Room. It's just a game, which is kind of funny. It was like this gay guy from a gay couple and a lesbian from a lesbian couple whose partners wanted them all to go do an escape room, but the partners didn't show up and they hate each other, and so they had to get through this thing. And you find out things about them throughout, like secrets that they had, and they kind of start to become friends and share these like secrets that they don't want their partners to know. And it's got a really funny ending that I'm not going to give away in case people have time to go see it. You should go see it. I'll say, like, when I left this show, I need them to do the next one. You remember like James and Jamesy were like, you need to do another one. I want to know what happened to Jamesy. Same thing. I want to see what happens in the lobby. I need to like do the show. So I will say, remember there was a Friends show a couple years ago that took place at the Ren, and it was two guys in a bedroom, and one was like full frontal nudity.
Yeah.
That guy was in it.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that show.
But his character is like the lady keeps saying, like, you don't have to be a dick, you don't have to be a dick. But the thing is, the guy was a dick and like way over
Hunter.
the top. Yeah.
We used to be Facebook friends.
Way over the top as a dick. Like so much that it was distracting. Thankfully, later into the show, like the characters kind of showed some vulnerability and were less caricatures, but it was good.
Did he show anything other than vulnerability, if you know what I'm saying?
Wasn't that kind of show. I'll tell you what, the last couple of years, there's been like,
lame.
You couldn't do a show at Fringe without male nudity if you wanted people to go. And now there's none. So then I saw this show, which I was very excited to see. It's called
Thanks,
Dream
Biden.
Rolls.
No.
Dream Rolls it's basically the theory of that is, you know, there's people who will never get cast in certain roles. They're too old, they're too young, they're male, they're female, you know, and so they don't get these roles. So this is a show of people singing the songs that they want to see that they wouldn't normally be cast for, and that was a good show. I really enjoyed that. So go see that. I will say,
AKA the Kirk from Glee show.
yeah, right. Laurel is there's two guys and a girl in it. Laurel, she's a powerhouse vocal. Brian Cantrell is in it. He's a really great entertainer, and Matt, who plays the pianos and sings great vocals too. The most entertaining thing about this show, though, I will say this. I'll try to get it all out real fast. There was this girl who was sitting in front of Jen who had zero understanding of the world around her. She had zero understanding of, she was not self-aware. She was not aware of her surroundings. She just was like drunk and crazy. So it was her girlfriend, and her girlfriend's mom. This is what we've assessed, right? So she was really drunk and drinking beer, and she's just like, this is her clapping. And she got a cowboy hat on, and then she would look over at her girlfriend and just stare at her, just staring. And like, then she'd put her arm around her and rub her back and just stare at her. And then Jen looks over at me and she's like, she had no idea what was yet to come. She goes, I hate this girl. I was like, I know. I just watched the show. And so then she's like trying to hug her. And every time she tries to like get really close to the girlfriend starts moving like this. Like she's just contorted and moving away from her. And like she tries to grab the girlfriend's hand and put it around the mom's arm. And they're both just like, you know, making these faces. So then the girl takes out her phone because reading the room, she says, this is a moment I want to capture on film. So she pulls out her camera during the show to take a selfie of her and her girlfriend. Her girlfriend's like this, and she's like shaking her head no. And the girl takes it. She's like, what? So then
Aren't phones banned during the shows?
Yes. So then she wants to take, for whatever reason, she decides that she wants to take a photo of the back of them. So she takes her phone and she moves it like to go behind to take a picture of the back of them. And she turns the camera on, but the camera's still like the reverse. So So it shines back, and all you see in this girl's phone is Jen. And Jen's face is like, she's just so disgusted. And the girl looks at it, she's like, oh. And then she turns it around and she looks back at Jen, and Jen's just like, eh. And then she leans over and takes a picture of the back of their heads. I don't understand why. Just crazy. Be better. Be better.
All right.
Anyway,
Be-
that's my
be
week. I'm
best.
exhausted because I've taken to watching. I'm obsessed. My 600-Pound Life. Have you watched this show?
Yeah, Chris and I watch that show.
I don't like that the episodes are 2 hours, and like at 10 o'clock, I got sucked into a 2-hour-long episode. I'm exhausted.
My favorite photo on TikTok is certain types of TikToks, people doing things, and then they post that doctor staring into his phone, smoking a cigarette. I won't paint what that means, but you get it. You get it.
I just want to say, like, why do these people lie? I just don't understand why you would lie. Like, you gained 20 pounds. You have not stuck to your diet.
Yeah.
Like, the guy's like, no, at your weight, you would lose 30 pounds a month if you stuck to the diet. You gained 20. You're not doing the diet. Yes, I am. No, stop lying. Anyway, I want to point this. So I've got this list. I love these things. I have a list. This is from Esquire, and it's the top 50. I know you're looking at the clock. It's the top 50
Actually,
LGBTQ
no,
films.
with all due respect, I pulled up Watermark Out News, their website, so that I could follow along when you were talking about your Fringe shows.
Uh-huh.
And I got distracted reading the Jason Mraz interview.
Oh, did you?
I was like, oh, it's Jason Mraz. And I
Do
got
you know that
distracted
I got
reading his
feedback
interview.
when we were talking about Melody doing that interview, and people were like, "You're really going on about Melody." We're like,
Yeah.
well, she didn't know who Jason Mraz was. We're just making
You
fun.
sound like you hate her. Do you want to talk about it?
So, I don't hate her. So we can
No,
do
I
this
believe you.
list and then talk about the show, or we can save the list.
Sure.
I'll let you decide. You want to do the list?
What's
All we're
the
gonna do is the
list?
top 10, Esquire's top 50 LGBTQ shows of all times. LGBTQ movies.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the top 10.
And you'll be very surprised. There are some surprises in here because
Because
Brokeback
Esquire
Mountain
doesn't
is
know
not in the top
what...
10.
Oh, I thought you said shows.
No. These are top 10 movies.
Oh, movies.
Yeah, movie. I
And
did say
Brokeback
shows,
Mountain's
but
Brokeback Mountain's not in it?
no, it's number 12. It's not in the top 10. So I was gonna do
Wow.
like not the. I've got it printed out in list of 1 through 50, and I also have it alphabetized. So if you guess a movie, I can tell you what number it actually was. But do you want to guess? Like, do you want me to give you? I will say this: we've covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's surprising. 5. We've covered at least 5 of these.
I don't, honestly, that's a terrible way to go through this because I can't remember from one week to the next what we watched.
Do you want me to give you? I'll give you number 10.
Okay.
I'll give you 10 through 6, and then I'll give you hints on the others. So
Okay.
number 10 is Call Me by Your Name.
Okay.
Number 9, Boys Don't Cry. Great movie.
Okay.
This one's surprising me that this one is number 8 when Brokeback Mountain is number 12. But Fire Island is number 8. I still thought it was a good movie. Number 7, The Birdcage.
Yeah, that should be up in the top 3.
6, I don't know that I heard about I don't know that I know this movie. BPM, Beats Per Minute.
Oh, I think that's a documentary about the AIDS crisis in France.
Oh, okay. So that's 6 through 10. Number 5 we've covered. It's a lesbian movie.
Carol.
Yes. Number 5 is Carol. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Number 4 definitely deserves to be in the top 5. I don't think we've covered it, but I know we must have mentioned it. Had a Oscar-winning performance from the male lead.
Oscar winning. Capote?
The male lead also won the next year for a different movie that was not LGBTQ.
Oh, Milk.
No.
One
Tom
back to back.
Hanks.
Oh, Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia was number 4.
Sean Penn's won back-to-back.
Sean Penn, yeah, he did win multiples, right?
He did, but he didn't win back-to-back. I was thinking.
Was he Best Actor?
Sean Penn twice, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he just won Best Supporting Actor.
All right, top 3. I don't necessarily agree with this list. The number 3 is like I think from the 70s. It was a play that they turned into a movie.
Dog Day Afternoon.
No. That they then I think turned into a play again. It's like I feel like all like they redid the movie and it's got like all the usual suspects, all the usual gays.
The band. Oh,
yes,
something with the band.
Boys in the Band.
Get the Boys in the Band.
Yeah. Number 2, I do highly disagree with this as being the second greatest LGBTQ movie of all time. We've covered it.
Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Oh my God. If that was the case, I wouldn't even bring this list out. I would be like, I am not giving you that kind of credit. No. How do I give hints for it? British? Is it British or is it? It's an overseas movie. People raved about it. I can't even remember the guy's name.
I have no idea what you're talking
Let me look
about.
who's in the cast. That Adam Pesqua Pasaha. The guy that's in
Stranger. What was that movie called?
All of Us
It's
Strangers.
him. All of Us Strangers. Yeah.
Number 2. I just didn't really. I don't know. It didn't do it for me, that movie. And then number 1. You might confuse the number 1 movie. You want to take a stab?
No, just tell me because I know I'm gonna hate it.
You'll get confused. You might think La La Land, but it's not La La Land. It's
what?
That's a joke.
Oh, Moonlight.
Moonlight. Yeah.
Moonlight.
Yeah. Number
okay.
1, Moonlight.
Okay.
Do you want to guess any gay movies and see where they are? Do you know what number 50 is?
Red, White, Royal Blue. Is that even on the list?
Love, Simon.
Oh, Love, Simon. Okay.
Let's see if Red, White, and Royal Blue is even on the list.
I doubt it is. This magazine sounds
It
stupid.
is on the list.
Yeah, way to go. You redeemed yourself.
Guess a
Where's
number.
it at?
Guess a number.
11. Just a little better than Brokeback Mountain.
25.
25? Okay. You know what? I didn't expect it to be on the list at all, so I'll take it.
You mentioned Dog Day Afternoon. That's on the list, 32.
Yeah. We should cover that movie.
We should do the movie and the play. I can get TDF tickets for Dog Day Afternoon, so we'll go see it before it goes because it's not going to win anything, so it'll go soon. Right?
I don't even know if it's nominated for anything. Did it get any nominations?
Some of the actors are. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, 15.
Oh, that's a good movie. Yeah.
My Own Private Idaho, 41. Oh, number 50 was Love, Simon.
Yeah, Love, Simon.
Another one of your favorites, Tangerine.
Yeah.
Number 16. Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Simon Baker? Is that the guy who wrote and directed it and did Nora? I can't remember. Anyway, I can't stand anything that guy does.
Rustin's on the list at 40. I thought it was way better than that. Oh, that movie Pride. We covered Pride, right? That's the one about the union workers. That's number 23.
Oh, I did like that movie. That was a good movie. Yeah. Well, keep that list. Whatever we haven't covered from that list, we'll make a short list. We'll start doing those.
Yeah.
And we'll see if Esquire is as stupid as I think they might be.
But we did cover a movie. Yes.
We did. Was this on the list?
Oh, let me look. No, it didn't make the list.
Not surprised. The movie was Kill Your Darlings.
I did not. Okay, I'll just say right off the bat. I did not dislike this movie. I didn't
hate it, but I will say
I was interested.
I found it to be very slow and dull until the end. Like the end, which is kind of where the story's building to. It's a very cookie cutter biopic. For those who don't know, the whole beatnik generation after World War II, of writers and poets. A large group of them all got to know each other at Columbia University, and it leads to a tragedy that happens, and that's what the movie's about.
Yeah, it's about Allen Ginsberg
Yes,
meeting
one of the original beatniks.
Yeah, who the only thing I ever knew about him is that his last name appears in La Vie Boheme from Rent.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
so he's a
does.
poet. His father is a poet, and he's like, we're gonna change poetry
Yeah.
through murder.
Do you know the first time I ever heard the term beatnik? Do you know what it's from? It may have been the first time you heard the term beatnik. So we're from around the same era. On Nick at Night, they had a show called The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. You remember that show? No? Oh. Well, there is a show. It's from the 50s or 60s called The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. And his friend in it, they call him, he's a beatnik. And he went on to become Gilligan from Gilligan's Island.
Really?
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm going to look that up while you talk about get started on the movie. I'm going to look that up, but I'm pretty sure Bob Denver, is that Bob Denver who plays Gilligan?
I think so. Anyway, so this is about. I didn't write down any of their names because I assumed that you would. The other thing I know is that it's about Ginsberg, Allen Ginsberg, and then something Carr.
Yes, I was right. It is him, Maynard G. Krebs. Yeah, Many Lives, Dobie Gillis. Bob Denver.
Lucian Carr is the person that he meets that he kind of becomes enamored with and wants to.
Yes.
And then they have this other friend, Jack somebody.
Yeah, Jack Kerouac. And then you've got William Burroughs. You got David Kammerer, Edie Parker, who were all writers from the beatnik generation, who all met. And a bunch of them, after this event happens at the end of the movie, they all moved to San Francisco. And then, because it starts off, jazz culture inspires them and they become beatniks. And then beatniks inspire hippies. And that's how we get the hippies, because they all moved to San Francisco and we get the hippies. And then the hippies inspired the bohemians of the 70s that turned into punk rock from the 80s, which became the grunge, and then the hipsters we know today. So you can thank these people for the damn hipsters that you see on the street these days.
And that explains the economy.
Yes, and that's why you can't afford rent.
So it's got a huge cast in it, right? I mean, Allen Ginsberg is played by Daniel Radcliffe.
Little thing, this movie was supposed to, he initially got cast, and then it was going to be filmed during the last two Harry Potter movies, and they couldn't work around the schedule. So they were like, oh, sorry, you're not going to be able to do it, Daniel Radcliffe. So he goes off, does the Harry Potter movies. They were going to make this movie with Chris Evans. Who were the other two? There were three at Chris Evans.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up right here.
Oh, yeah.
Because I found it interesting. Chris Evans, Jesse Eisenberg, and Ben Whishaw.
Yeah.
I think Ben Whishaw should have been in the show because he's great.
Yeah. So
he could have been the druggie in the bathtub.
Yeah. So they were going to make the movie, and then Jesse Eisenberg backed out because he had just done The Social Network and did not want to do two back-to-back movies where he played students. So it got kind of held up in limbo, and by the time they were able to get the funding, Daniel Radcliffe was done doing Harry Potter, and he said, I will come audition for you because I want this movie. And I think it was for the sex scene.
Well, so John Crocodus, I don't know how to pronounce his name, finally emailed Daniel Radcliffe once the project got back on track and asked Daniel Radcliffe if he was still interested in doing it, and he immediately replied, "Abso-fucking-lutely."
Yeah. So
he was believable in it, his little affinity.
I thought he did great. Yeah.
For what's his name?
Lou.
Yeah,
Lucian
played
Carr.
by Dane DeHaan, who I thought was great in it. I thought he was great.
Yes. The only other thing I remember seeing him in is he is Harry in the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yes, he is. It was why I can't remember names today for some reason. Who was the first one in the originals?
James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco, and then this guy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, like, I mean, the Green Goblin's kid turns out to be good looking in every iteration of it. So
yeah, not bad. Not bad.
evil has its perks.
We'll see who the Green Goblin is in the Tom Holland one, because I don't think they've done Green Goblin with him yet. They just brought the Tobey Maguire one back. So the whole first half of this movie is them getting into drug culture and drinking and becoming poets and turning the whole poetry world on their ear and being like, oh, we're not going to rhyme our words and we're not going to do, the same cadence that all the poetry have done, and we're going to write how we want to write. And then we find out that Lucian Carr, not really a good writer at all. He has a professor / janitor. No, he gets other people to write.
I was going to say, he's not even a writer.
Yeah, no. But people think he is because he had other people writing for him. So he's got this professor whom he's got been having a relationship with to get him to write his school papers, and people think he's smart, but he's not, because other people do the work for him. But people get infatuated. First, David Cameron falls for him. That's Michael C. Hall, which for those who watch Dexter, I never watched Dexter, but I read, because obviously it's not a spoiler alert because it was a true story and it happened many, many years ago. He dies in this movie. He gets killed by Lucian Carr. And the way that he kills him, I guess, is a popular way that Dexter killed people in the show, where he would stab him in the heart, then put rocks in his pockets and drop him in a body of water so they sink to the bottom. So I was like, did he actually die that way? Or did they do that as a, hey, for you Dexter fans, here's a little nod for you?
Well, was Dexter out before this movie was filmed?
Yeah,
Probably.
Dexter was like the 2000s is when Dexter first started. And then
he's also, by the way, I just want to say, if you're not familiar with Michael C. Hall's work, he's in a show called 6 Feet Under, which is one of the best shows made ever. It's great. And it has one of the best endings of a series that has ever existed.
Yeah. He's gay in that one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't think he's gay in real life, though. Just another straight actor taking all our roles.
Just another Darren Criss.
Yeah.
I want you to watch Miscast 2026. It's on YouTube. Watch it. And then at the end of it, tell me he's not gay.
Yeah. I mean, everything I see him in, it's like, I mean, you come out when you need to, darling, but yeah, you're pretty gay. You're one of the gayest people I've seen.
Speaking of, look, my brother listens to all of this, all of our podcasts. This is my brother that lives in upstate New York, like outside of Syracuse. And so he listens to this and he'll text me, but sometimes he's a week behind and he'll reference something that I'm not sure what he's talking about. So I guess we were talking recently about the greatest things to come out of 1975 being The Rose by Bette Midler and me. And he responded, or he texted me and said, Conway Twitty had the best version of The Rose ever. And I replied with, that's the gayest thing you've ever said. Like, just because you know how people say that when somebody will say something, you're like, that's the gayest thing you've ever heard. Or, that's the gayest thing I've heard today. And we laugh and it's funny. Well, he replied and said, what does that mean? Like, what is And so I was like, well, shit, now I have to come up with an answer for that. It's like, I don't know. It's just a joke. So I said, this is what I said. I was like, well, first of all, he talks to the whole song, so it's gay. 2, his hair, gay. And knowing that Conway Twitty sang The Rose, gay. That's what I said. I mean, I was
the only thing I know of Conway Twitty is he's a bit on Family Guy where they'll do like a joke and they'll be like, ladies and gentlemen, Conway Twitty. And then they will play an entire song of Conway Twitty at like the Grand Ole Opry. And they did it like 3 times. And the estate of Conway Twitty wrote them and said, stop doing the Conway Twitty joke.
Listen, you must know this about me. This will come as no surprise to you. I love Conway Twitty. He's got a
Yeah.
song called "It's Only Make Believe," and I used to sing it at karaoke when I'd get wasted. So I love it. But oddly enough, I dated a guy. The first guy I ever fell in love with wanted to be a filmmaker, and when he was in high school, he made a film where the background, like the film, was as long as the song "The Rose" by Conway Twitty, and it's just it's the song "The Rose." This is how it goes.
Yes.
This is Conway Twitty's version. Some say love, it is a river. It's just him the whole thing. And so the whole thing is like this guy who is either on a couch like drugged out or committing suicide or something. And it's this whole film this guy made. Oddly, but I say oddly enough, this guy ended up going to Columbia. Is that a beat
Oh.
Nick? But, he went to Columbia, went to become a filmmaker. I don't know what he ended up doing with his life, because when he got to Columbia, he told me he had bigger and better things to do, so he ditched me. And guess what? He's probably right. He did have bigger and better things to do. But anyway,
What
Conway
year
Twitty's
would have been
version of The Rose
this?
is terrible.
That he would have come to Columbia.
He went to Columbia in 96, 90, yeah, 95,
He
96.
probably was a hipster then. He was approaching that hipster era. So there's a lot of bit players in this, like celebrities.
Yeah, a lot.
Jennifer Jason Leigh and David Cross play Ginsburg's parents. Elizabeth Olsen plays Edie Parker. Kira Sedgwick pops up as Lucar's mom.
I forget her. Her name to me is Brenda Lee Johnson. That's all it is. Do you ever watch Major Crimes?
No.
I love that show.
But I bet she did a great job because Kira Sedgwick is good in everything I've seen her in. So yeah, do you want to do
you want to do Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, because
Is that where we are?
I got to get ready for work here in a few minutes, so we need to wrap this up.
And I've got to go to lunch.
So I mean, this seems like one of those independent films that critics like, so I'll say like 86, 87. Audiences, not so much because it's a little gay. So I'll say 75 for audiences.
It was 78 critics and 60 for audiences.
Oh.
Audiences had over 10,000 reviews, and they gave it a 60. And I'm going to say this is probably why. It's probably because a bunch of people who love Daniel Radcliffe and Harry Potter went to watch it and went, ew, Harry Potter's gay, 1 star.
Yeah. This was his first American movie that he did.
Really?
Yeah. Everything prior to this was Harry Potter or a English film.
I do know that filming on location was usually complicated because children passing by would freak out when they saw Harry Potter and start yelling.
Yeah.
Did you know that
Harry
David
Potter.
Cross,
Harry Potter.
David Cross, who played Allen Ginsberg's father, was in a movie
He played
called
Allen
I'm Not
Ginsberg.
There. Yeah, he played Allen Ginsberg in a movie called I'm Not There.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. There's so many interesting
in that
facts about
movie,
it.
I'm Not There. Kate Blanchett. I think it's Kate Blanchett's in it, and she plays a guy.
Huh. Did you know that Daniel Radcliffe met his girlfriend, Erin, on the set of this movie? Which I found fascinating.
I bet it wasn't during the sex scene.
And guess who? Do you think that drugged out solo sex scene he did was crazy? That was cracking me up. So guess who was offered the role of Lucian Carr and turned it down, which is when they gave it to Dane. It's a famous queer actor. Queer-esque, queer adjacent.
Neil Patrick Harris?
No, Ezra Miller.
Oh. He's probably too busy choke slamming fans. Yeah, I mean, I thought this was a decent movie. It's a little bogged down in the middle. It's kind of slow, but the ending picks up. I thought the actors did fantastic in it. I'll give it 2.5 grapes. I'll go right in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good watch. Honestly, I found it interesting. I never was bored once. I never was like, oh my gosh, how long is this movie? I did have to pause it to let the dogs out, and when I did that, I looked it up to see how long the movie was, just so I knew what time I could possibly get to sleep. Little did I know when it was over, I was gonna watch 2 hours of Hey, I'm 600 pounds.
Yeah. Gotta be careful with those reality shows. They'll creep up on you.
It's worth a watch. I'll tell you what. We had talked about next week watching Beautiful Things, and I'm not on board with that anymore. That looks painful. This was not painful to watch. This was something that's like, okay, this is good. It actually belongs on the list, I think. But
I don't remember what Beautiful Things is, so let me. No, I typed that in, and the Benson Boone song came up. What movie are we talking?
We can talk about it when we let everybody else go.
You all are released. And until then, the cork is back in the bottle.